Rapping, you're now live on YouTube. Patty, you have the floor.
Thank you, Bryant. My name is Patricia Montenegro. I'm with the Public Building Commission of Chicago, Deputy Director of Procurement. Before we begin our pre-bid conference, we just want to go over a few housekeeping items. Please make sure that you mute your computers and your cell phones. I think James has already put in the chat to make sure that your screen name has your full name and your company name. And please add your name to the chat. And then we're going to ask that everyone hold their questions to the Q&A session that we have towards the end of the presentation.
Sounds good. Thank you.
All right, so as mentioned, this is the pre-bid and technical review conference for the CIP Central Hearing Facility roof and MEP upgrades, contract number C1606. Today is December 13th. And we will go ahead with introductions and then followed by introductions of our eligible bidders. And so next on my screen is James Borkman.
Good morning, everybody. James Borkman with the Public Building Commission.
All right. And then PBC folk, if you can please continue the introductions. Thank you. Patrice, you're on mute.
Patrice Norwood, Compliance, PBC.
Okay, Lisa.
Lisa Giveroff, PBC.
Minnie Keys.
Minnie Keys, Procurement, PBC.
Jose.
Good morning, everyone. Jose Barajas, Project Manager with PBC.
Desmond.
Good morning, Desmond Truitt, PBC.
Robert.
Good morning, everyone. Robert Ochi, PBC.
Ryan.
Morning, Ryan Ledoux with PBC Environmental.
Thought I had seen Miguel. See.
Miguel Fernandez, PBC.
Thank you. And any other, I'm sorry, my screen is a little smaller on this end. So any other PBC members that I don't.
Tanya Hirschley, Director of Finance, PBC.
Thank you. I see Kira is on. Yes. Kira. Kira might have technical difficulties. All right. And then Jose or Desmond, do you want to go ahead and introduce the AOR team?
Yes, today with us we have Richard from Rada Architects. If you want to introduce yourself and your team, please.
Yes, Richard Rux. I'm here in a conference room with another gentleman who worked from Rada, who worked on the project, Cristian Encarnacion. And we have also been joined by a representative of the MEP team, Lewis Hamilton.
Thank you.
Yeah, Lou Hamilton with IMEG Engineers.
Thank you. Patty, also, I do see our environmental team has joined us. Ian, if you want to introduce yourself and your team.
Sure. Ian Jarrett, EAI. We did the environmental inspection and specifications. I'm here with Peter Dennis also as well.
Morning, all.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Is that all from the AOR and design team?
Yes, thank you, Patty.
Okay, thank you, Jose. And then I do see from AIS, our client, we have Francis. Francis, you want to introduce your team and who's with us on the call today?
Sure. Hi, good morning. I'm Francis Rovatuso Strange, Director of Projects at AIS AEC Bureau. We have our newest Deputy Commissioner, Merrick. And I don't see, but I'll let him introduce himself. Merrick?
Good morning, everyone. Mark Wisniewski. I am the new Deputy Commissioner over here at AIS AEC. Looking forward to working with all of you. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Francis. I did see Andre. Andre, do you care to introduce yourself?
Yeah, Andre Wiggins with Transwestern Commercial Real Estate Services. We're part of the property management team for 400 West Superior and 740 Sedgwick.
Thank you. All right, so want to make sure we've captured everybody from PBC, AIS, and the AOR team. Anyone that we left out, that may have left out from that team?
Hello, good morning. My apologies. This is Kiara Trejo with PBC. I'm the project manager for the project.
Hi, Kiara.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. All right. Okay, so then other members or participants here, I'm going to assume, right, that they are from the bidding pool. So I will move forward to introducing the eligible bidders for this project. We have Class A. So I'm going to read off every name, and we thank everybody for their patience as we do this, but we just want to get an idea of who is present and accounted for based off of Class A as well as Class B. So we have Albright Construction. Anybody from Albright? Barton Mallow. Bergland. Blinderman.
Brent Spolster with Blinderman.
Thank you. Burling Builders. Okay. Clark Construction. Development Solutions. FH Passion. Friedler Construction. Henry Brothers. Hunt Construction Company. James McHugh. K.R. Miller. Madison Construction. Old Veteran Construction. Path Construction. Power Construction. Powers and Son. Solid.
Ryan Michael, George Solid.
Thank you. Turner Construction. Tyler Lane. Ujama. Danner. W.E. O'Neill Construction. Walsh Construction. Class B, Aldridge Electric, Inc. Brandenburg Industrial Service Company. Broadway Electric. Frederick Quinn. John Burns Construction. Oak Construction. Polus. R.T. Millord. Reliable and Associates. The Lombard Company. Okay. So the first half of the presentation will focus on procurement details of the project. Very brief overview of the project. It's located at 400 West Superior Street in Chicago. And the general scope of services consists of some building infrastructure systems, upgrades, exterior envelope repairs, roof replacement, and all of this additional information that you find on the screen. Our team will go over it in greater detail. The project does include add alternates, and we'll be going over that when we discuss the bid form. The time of completion, we have a substantial completion date of December 31st, 2024, with a milestone number 1 of March 29th, 2024. Again, all of this will be discussed by the team later in the presentation. We're just going over some project overview highlights. And then we have liquidated damages, $500 per day for milestone 1 and $2,500 per day for substantial completion for dates that are not achieved. All of these documents that we're going to be going over today are found in one of 2 places. We have our PBC website under the PBC's current opportunities page. The link is provided here. You'll find details like the book 1, any addendas that are issued, sign-in sheets, this PowerPoint presentation, who the eligible bidders are for the project, and then eventually after a bid opening, the bid tabulation will also live on the current opportunities page. Documents are also available online on Aloha Print Group's plan room, and the printer's contact information is available here should something happen. And so our website goes down or something, God forbid. So you have 2 online locations for documents. Our assist agencies, those listed on this sheet, also have been provided access to these documents. So you should find this document in book 1, instructions to bidders, as well as on our website by following this link here. The technical review meeting is immediately following this meeting. And then tomorrow we have a site visit scheduled for, well, beginning at 7 a.m., I should say. And contractors are to meet and sign in with the security at 740 North Sedgwick, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Street lobby. So in the lobby at 740 North Sedgwick. Any requests for information, any questions regarding this solicitation, whether it be regarding any procurement details or architectural details, anything, any questions should be submitted to my attention, and email is provided on screen. There is a deadline for questions of December 21st by 4:30 p.m. It's subject to change via addenda, so we may extend this deadline. And we currently have an addenda that is pending to be issued following the site visit, and we can go over what those details are later in the presentation. Bids are currently due on January 4th at 11 a.m. Again, subject to change via addenda. That current opportunities page that I referenced earlier is going to be key. That's the page you're going to be trying to visit regularly to make sure that no addendas have been issued, you know, that any project details have not changed. So that's where you want to continue to check for updates. We also issue updates via PBC alerts. So if you have not registered to receive our PBC alerts, we would recommend that you do so, as we issue updates via that manner as well. The bid opening will be streamed live on PBC's YouTube page, and it will be recorded, and then it will also be available on PBC's current opportunities page for this project. So again, the importance of that current opportunities page, it has the majority, not all of the procurement details. Bid submission requirements. So we are accepting electronic submission only. 1 complete copy of the bid document the original signatures in blue ink or digital signature. Include your 5% bid bond and include the bid form and award criteria sheet in the PDF format separately within the email. The documents should be searchable PDF form and not a scanned copy. If you have questions about that, please submit them in email to my attention. But the bids must be sent to email, to the following two emails: bids@pbcchicago.com and patricia.montenegro@cityofchicago.org. If your firm cannot submit an electronic submission for whatever reason, we are asking that you submit your request for hard copy submission to Mr. Borkman, James Borkman, at james.borkman@cityofchicago.org. So bidders should have already received the electronic version of this document, the fillable version of this document. And so before you, we have the 8 different categories or 8 different potential award scenarios, right? So the bidder will put in their base work if they are going to bid the total base work only. Total base plus alternate 1 here and then here. Total base plus alternate here and here. Total base plus alternate 3, so 1 and then line 4 for alternate 3. Total base, it's alternate plus alternate 2, so alternate 1, base and then alternate 1 or 2, so on and so forth. The electronic version obviously has the formula and will populate it and add it up for you. And then we will talk about the total award criteria, which also then you'll need to populate based on what percentages you'll be submitting. The basis of award. So the award will be made to the responsible bidder submitting the lowest award criteria figure, line 8. So again, we go back. It's going to be based on this number, line 8, total award criteria. Firms are required to fill out the entire bid form. So we are asking bidders to complete all award scenarios in order to be responsive. The alternates, the commission's discretion. We expressly reserve the right to accept or decline any alternates offered by the bidders. And the commission will notify the successful bidder in writing whether any alternates will be awarded. The description of those alternates are included in book 1 on page 6 and also in the drawings. The drawings have, obviously the greater details. Following the bid opening on January 4th will be the pre-award meeting. So the apparent low bidder for the project will be invited to attend the pre-award meeting at 10 a.m. Again, subject to change via addenda. And then once, everything has been determined and we decide to recommend the apparent low bidder, a notice of award would be issued, and that would be following our January 2024 PBC Board of Commissioners meeting. The successful general contractor will be required to provide a compliant certificate of insurance and payment and performance bond within 7 days of NOA issuance.
You're talking about a drive.
Book 1 and Book 2 highlights regarding budget, staffing, and additional requirements. The construction budget is listed on page 4 of Book 1. The current range is between $7 million to $7.2 million. mandatory project staffing, we're requiring project manager and or superintendent. So please read the details on page 6. Scheduling software requirements also listed on page 6, as well as liquidated damages. We went over the list of pre-qualified general contractors. And again, they're listed in book 1, page 5. They're currently class A and class B. There is joint venture opportunities if a class A wanted to joint venture with a class B, or vice versa, or if there's any company who decides to reach out to class A and class B to do joint venture opportunities. We just ask that the controlling party be the one who is pre-qualified. So in other words, class A or a class B must be the controlling party. If doing the joint venture, then we're going to ask that the joint venture submit a Schedule B, fill out a Schedule B, as well as provide a joint venture agreement and a certification letter, if available, if MBE or WBE. At this time, I will turn it over to Patrice Doyle, who's the Director of Compliance, and she'll go over the next few slides. Patrice?
Thank you, Patty.
You're welcome.
Okay, so the award criteria, the maximum participation that you can give for minority journey worker, apprentice, or labor is 70%. The maximum that you can give on award criteria for apprentice, for female apprentice, journey worker, or labor is 15%. The community hiring goal for this project is 7.5%, and the city residency goal is 50% for this project. Next, please.
Sorry, hold on.
This is the community hiring map where the 7.5% is to come from, and this is total hours worked on a project for the EEO requirements, the journey apprentice, the labor, the community hiring, and the city resident requirements is based on the total hours worked on a project. And this community hiring map reflects the area surrounding the central hearing facility, and this is where the 7.5% of the worker hours must come from on the project. This is the award criteria formula, and it is based on the base bids as well as the alternate. It should be completed in its entirety. If you decide to use the same percentages, which you cannot exceed the 70% for minority, journey apprentice, or labor, or you cannot exceed 15% for female journey, female apprentice, or female labor. If you would like to adjust your award criteria information per base bid, that is acceptable. If you would also like to keep it the same, that is acceptable as well, but make sure you complete the form in its entirety. And this is where you will be deemed the lowest responsive bidder based on your award criteria goals. But once the contract is awarded, they will become requirements.
And I also do want to highlight, Patrice, that again, if you're submitting, we're encouraging electronic submission, right? And this is in a fillable format already provided to the eligible bidders for populating. But if you are going to submit a request for a hard copy submission, then you would complete pages 17 and 18 of book 1 as well.
The MBE and WBE goal for this project is 20%, 26% MBE, 6% WBE. When you submit your bid, you can submit your requirements based on the base bid, but also note if alternates are selected, then you have a period to cure your MBE, WBE goals if you have a shortfall. Meaning if you come in at 26% MBE and 6% WBE on your base bid, and we select alternates 1, 2, and 3, and now you have a 25% MBE or a 4% WBE, the MBE goals must be cured before the contract can be awarded. So just make sure that you are calculating that and be prepared to provide additional participation based on the award of the contract. We only accept certification from City of Chicago or Cook County. And also there's additional information for MBE, WBE in the Special Conditions Book 2, Article 23. We use B2G now as our MBE, WBE tracking system for established suppliers that are manufacturers, you receive 100% credit. For suppliers, you only receive 60% credit, and for brokers, you receive 0% credit. For MBE or WBE firms that are established business, please look at their certifications letter carefully, because you can only receive credit in the percentage of the year that they are. So some established business that are MBE, WBE at the time may only have 75% credit, 50% credit, or 25% credit, depending on their graduation status. So make sure that you are identifying that you won't be able to receive 100% credit for a MBE or WBE that is an established business. You have to submit Schedule D and Schedule C with your bid package. So this is the Schedule D. The Schedule D identifies the credit amount, not the contract amount. They may be the same, but it identifies the credit amount, and this should be completed by the prime contractor or general contractor, and the credit amount will appear on the Schedule D. The Schedule C should be submitted by the subcontractor, and their scope of work should be identified on here. Their contract amount. On the second page, there are subcontracting levels that sometimes are not completed. If they are subcontracting work to a and it's not supplies, it's work being performed. If they are subcontracting work being performed to a non-MBE or WBE, they cannot receive credit, but their full contract amount must appear on here. If they are subcontracting to an MBE or WBE, they can receive credit. So for instance, if their contract amount is $100,000 and they're subletting 10% to a non-MBE, WBE, $100,000 should appear on the Schedule C, and $90,000 should appear on the Schedule D. Additional information will be required once the contract is awarded, but this is what the subcontractor should complete. And again, this is where the established business and a supplier. So if a supplier contract value is $100,000 and they should only receive 60% credit on the Schedule D, if an established business that's an MBE or WBE is at the 50% lifespan of their certification, then they should only receive $50,000. So just make sure when you're looking at their information that it is correct. The contract value on the Schedule D, the credit amount on the the contract value on the Schedule C, the credit amount on the Schedule D. Make sure whatever they're certified in, that's the work that they're performing. If they're certified in plumbing and they have identified as electrical work, they cannot receive credit. So make sure whatever they're certified in, that is the amount of credit that they can receive in that category, and make sure that they are current certified. Next, please. Back to you.
Thank you, Patrice. So again, any questions regarding this procurement, And any information that is discussed in this presentation should be submitted to my attention at patricia.montenegro@cityofchicago.org. All right. Do we have, are we ready to share the screen? Tech?
Believe so.
Thank you, Patty. So we'll now move on to the technical review portion of the presentation. Richard, if you can pull up the slides.
Doing so right now, sir.
Thank you, thank you. In the meantime, I just want a friendly reminder. Thank you, Richard.
Can you see this?
Thank you. Just before we jump on the technical review, just a friendly reminder, we have scheduled the non-mandatory site walkthrough for tomorrow, the 14th at 7 in the morning, where we will discuss the scope and walk the areas of work, as well as discuss the phasing and logistics. As Patty had mentioned before, the Q&A session will be after the technical review, so if you can please hold off on all questions until then. I will now hand it over to Richard with RADA Architects to conduct an overview of the scope of work for the project.
Oh,
Richard.
Okay, I'm also going to be, excuse me, got a bit of a cold. Helped here with by Lou Hamilton of IMEG. This first slide here is it's a view of the overall building. I don't know how familiar some of the bidders are with it. There's a 6-story portion which is right in front of you, and if you look off to the right, there is a 4-story portion of the building, and then off to the left, which goes down Superior Street, there is a 2-story portion of the building. There is work in all parts of the building other than perhaps the basement. It's mostly MEP work. The architectural work is largely in support of the MEP work, except there is some roofing and some masonry repairs, which we'll get into later. I don't know if Lou wants to give a quick overview of what the MEP scope is, or should we just skip to the various areas of the building?
Yeah, let's get to the interior plans, because really all the work except for the roof mount chillers is otherwise all interior to the building.
Okay, the next slide here. This is a site plan. The building takes up the entire site. There is no parking. The loading dock is covered. The whole building just covers the whole site. And it's cut, it's bordered by Hudson Avenue, Superior Street, Sedgwick Avenue, and then on the north side, there's an alley, and there are some high rises next to it. So let's go to the first floor. Oh, excuse me. We also have some fire escape work. We're removing all the paint. There's lead, I guess there's lead-based paint on it. There are environmental scope sheets for that prepared by others. They're in the bid documents. And we have to repaint this and make some structural repairs. There's some beams and some gratings, I believe, to be replaced. And as a part of the bid documents, we have included the report to the city about its current condition. It's one of the, it's in Project Manual Volume 3. You'll find it in there. So next page.
Richard, sorry, just before we jump on, I know we do have the environmental team. Ian is on the call. Ian, if you could just briefly go over some of the environmental scope for the exit fire escape.
Yeah, sure. So we have specified abrasive blasting for that stairwell that is on the east side of the building. That's pretty much it for the stairwell.
Got it. And all the information is included in the spec books as well.
Yes.
And we're expecting that it'll be fully wrapped during the blasting to contain all the dust.
Yeah, and this is Ryan Ledoux. I also want to just add that obviously, the City of Chicago requirements for sandblasting on exterior buildings will also have to be followed as well. Which is in I believe it's 11-420-2190. So any bidders that are bidding the lead abatement will have to follow that spec as well.
Thank you, Ryan. All right, Richard, you may continue to the next slide, please.
Please. Okay, excuse me. Here we've got the first floor plan, the east side, which means that the right-hand side is Sedgwick Street. On the south side is Superior Street. North side is the alley. The basement, the only work going on down there is some remedial work at the elevator sump, and then we're putting on fire-rated back boxes on some of the controls. The controls just go through some fire-rated construction, and they need a little fire rating. That happens pretty much every floor, other than, of course, the sump work. Then the first floor, the air handler, which is in the center of the space, that's what's got the circle around it, is being replaced, and the walls and the door have to come out in order to get the old one out and the new one in. Beyond that, the MEP work is confined to what here?
Yeah, so the for that 6-story portion of the building, the air handling units on every floor are getting replaced. You'll see from the drawings, each floor has its own air handler that's being completely replaced. And then the extent of ductwork replacement varies by floor, but is pretty substantial. Replacement of ductwork, new VAV boxes, new diffusers in many areas, and obviously piping associated with the air handling units. The 4-story building, which is the area just to the upper part of that plan, the existing HVAC unit, which is a rooftop unit, is remaining. Most of the ductwork and VAV boxes are remaining, just selective changes that are shown on the drawings. And then for all areas of the building, all the controls are being replaced. The new BAS, new controls for all new and existing equipment. So 100% control replacement throughout the building.
Okay, let's go to our next slide here. Okay, this is the west side of the building. This is basically the 2-story part. And this is basically hearing rooms, and there are MEP upgrades through here. They're not in every room, but they are in many of them. And it includes the replacement of some curved ceilings. We've got a detail for that. And then there's a lot of work in the mechanical rooms up on the north side. Lou, what are some details about all of that?
Yes, so the air handling units that serve this area depicted on the first floor are remaining. They're getting some new coils, but otherwise the units themselves are remaining. The chilled water pumps and chilled water piping that's in those mechanical rooms to north is substantial replacement with new, which will go along with the chillers up on the roof. And then within this occupied spaces, there's selective remodeling. There's a handful of VAV boxes being replaced, some associate ductwork with that, and then there's other rooms where the existing is remaining. Again, all new controls being put in for every VAV box and space. And then a few miscellaneous electric heaters in that back corridor.
Sounds real good. Let's go up to the second floor. Second floor, east side, the 6 and 4-story building is once again offices. Excuse me. Once again, we're tearing out the mechanical room wall and door to get the old air handler out and the new air handler in for the 6-story part. And once again, there is the work similar to what Lou outlined below, which is Lou.
It's really the same as we talked about for the first floor. The 6-story portion, new air handler unit, substantial replacement of ductwork, new VAV boxes and controls, and then the 4-story portion, just more limited upgrade of controls for existing VAV boxes.
Okay. Then the second floor west, once again, it's the ductwork and the ceiling replacement in support. It's the ceiling replacement. The work here, there's ceiling replacement in support of the HVAC work. I think it's a little less extensive here. Is it not, Lou?
Again, the second floor, selective areas being reworked, selective boxes and zones being reworked. Large areas are just getting control replacement, but ductwork to remain. This whole area, the second floor, is served by 2 roof-mounted air handlers, which are in good condition, and you know, other than new controls are remaining as they are.
Okay. Let's take a look at the third floor. Right here we have the third floor and the fourth floor. Third floor is on our right. Once again, the some doors and walls need to come out in order to move the air handlers in and out of the mechanical room. I think at the third floor, that third floor and 6th floor, I believe. Yes. There are some doors with existing security devices that are going to need to be accounted for. The drawings account for them. We basically, on all these floors, tell you to save the door leaf and put it back. And we're going to ask you to, we ask you to put back the door security devices, which is a card reader, etc. I think there's REXs on these doors, request to exits, and those all have to be put back. Here, and excuse me, I'm getting real dry here. Once again, there's the elevator work, which is just fireproofing some back boxes. 4th floor. I don't know, Lou, what do you care to add about the 3rd floor discussion?
Same as the as what we've talked about for the 1st and 2nd floor for those buildings. Just the only variation on the 4th floor is that IDF room. There's the alternate to put in a new, dedicated supplemental cooling unit.
Yeah, we got a slide on that coming up later for everybody too.
Okay, so that was a spoiler.
Good one. Fourth floor, once again, you know, tearing out a wall to get the air handler in and out. And, you know, the back boxes, ceiling replacement is shown. And, ceiling where you can remove ceiling and put it back. I think we've shown that on every floor, actually. And, you know, that's about it. That's about it. It's just like the rest of the floors. Let's go up to the fifth and sixth, I guess. Okay, fifth floor. Fifth floor, it's the same scope as the other floors, basically. So, selective ceiling replacement, support of the MEP work. Once again, we're taking out a mechanical room wall and door that has to be put back in order to get the air handler out. Access to the roof over the fourth floor is through the fifth floor restroom. There's no roof hatch from below. So there's a stair up, which, and a stair, no, there is not a stair up. There is a design in the drawings to put a little ship's ladder up to the door in the restroom, which is in the far upper left corner of the right-hand plan, the fifth floor construction plan. There's a little circle around it. But that's the access to the fifth floor, to the roof over the fifth floor. The roof over the fifth floor is being replaced, no matter what. It's part of the base bid. Then the MEP work, blue, is basically similar to what we have below, right?
Yes, replacement of air handling unit and significant portions of the ductwork, new VAV boxes, and all new controls.
Okay, one thing I forgot for the fourth floor. In the fourth floor, the ceiling in the fourth floor of the four-story building is being replaced in its entirety because the roof leaks have been so bad. It just has to be, it's all being trashed, okay? Or all the tiles are being trashed. Then we're gonna clean the grid and then put the tiles back. I had forgotten about that, I'm so sorry. I had that on my notes too. And finally, the sixth floor. Sixth floor, this, once again, I think there's a door that we're replacing to get the air handler in and out. It's got a card reader and a request to exit that have to be addressed. Basically taken out and put back. Access to the roof over the sixth floor is only through the stair in the lower left. There's no roof hatches and the like. There's also, what we'll see later, there's a skylight in the center of this space. And the MEP work, Lou, is similar to what was happening before?
Yes.
Okay, replace the air handler, controls, VAV boxes. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Let's see what we got here. This is, okay, the west roof. The west roof is to remain. There's a few pieces of mechanical equipment. Lou could talk about those. There's some chillers, one of which is remaining, two are to be replaced. And we are providing new walkways and a ladder around those three chillers. Lou, how about some detail on those chillers?
They're existing air-cooled chillers that are being removed. New piping connections, obviously, and you know, power reconnected. Third chiller to the left is remaining. We did call for it to be, checked out and make sure the contractor is satisfied that it's in good enough condition to run primarily as a backup when the job is done. There is like a condensing unit over toward the east side of that roof that's getting replaced that serves the lobby and revenue area, but otherwise all those other things ghosted in on the background are just staying as is. Just I think there's 1 or 2 fans that are being replaced, again, all shown on mechanical drawings.
And so the extent of the roofing work here is just patching into the existing roof. We're not doing anything with the roof here. Nor are we doing any masonry repairs. Okay, the next slide here. What do we got here? Okay, this is the base bid, the east roof plan over the 4th and 6th floors. The base bid is to replace the roof over the 4th floor with a PVC roof and to do masonry repairs to the parapet and the like at the 4th floor, parapet for the roof over the 6th floor, also to some of the masonry repairs to the penthouses, paint the doors on the houses, etc. We're not re-roofing it as part of the base bid. It's an existing, that's a PVC roof. It's an existing PVC roof. The 4th floor roof, the existing roof was modified bitumen. They both have about 2.5 inches of insulation and roofing material before you hit the deck. Okay. Now, MEP wise, what's going on up here on the roof, Lou, for the base bid and the like?
There's some replacement of ductwork on the 4-story roof. There's some poor duct conditions that are getting cleaned up in the process of the roof replacement. We're eliminating and patching some openings where ducts go down through the roof now. And then on the 6th story, there's a new large inline exhaust fan that is going up there and connected to that large duct next to the old elevators. Well, between the 2 elevator penthouses.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then we've got the next sheet, which shows the alternates that are up on the 6th floor. For the 6th floor, there is an alternate, number 1, which is to re-roof the building over the 6th floor. We have specified PVC for that too. There's another alternate to remove the lenses from the skylight. They're polycarbonate, and put in new ones, and that's going to involve putting in one more rib across the length of it. I think we have that shown in the new work. Also, the alternate 1, that's alternate 2, is the skylight work. Alternate 1 also includes re-roofing the penthouses. And they have gutters. The roof over the 6th floor only has 1 drain. We have not added another drain, but we have added an overflow scupper just beyond the roof drain. So if that does get clogged, the building occupants will know it right away. Because the water will start coming down a little bit. Very standard thing to do. That's basically about it for those 2 alternates. And we have alternate 3, which maybe Lou could explain a little better.
Yes, as mentioned previously, the fourth floor IDF room, the new supplemental air conditioning unit is being provided under this alternate with associated condenser on the roof and piping in between, just a standalone system.
Okay, I think that does it for our technical review of the scope. There's a lot of scope, but it's confined to just some categories. There's little roofing, some walls and doors, a lot of ceilings, and of course the duct work, the MEP work, etc. With the controls work.
Yeah, I mean there is electrical power work associated with all the equipment being replaced, chillers, pumps, air handlers, but that's all shown on the drawings. That's really just all in support of the mechanical equipment. There are not any other upgrades to electrical systems. Fire alarm devices, duct smoke detectors, they are noted on the drawings to be removed from the old units and put back into the new units. But the fire alarm system, I believe, is the process of being replaced now. So all those devices should be new when this contract gets to those units. Just a matter of putting them back in the new systems.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, Richard. Patty, do we want to open it up now for Q&A?
Yes. Yes, and I do want to kind of just say though first that we'll be answering questions as they are presently or as they presently appear on the drawings. And then any questions that would result in a modification to the documents you would see sent via an addenda. So I just want to make that clear, right? Nothing that is kind of said here until it's made golden in an addenda will change the documents. Jose?
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have any questions from the contractors?
I know we have a question in the chat. We wanted to go over that. Are new VFDs being installed for each HU? Lord, what type of BAS will be installed?
So there are new VFDs associated with the air handling units. That's all shown on the drawings where those go. And as far as the BAS, it's it's an open spec. It's a BACnet system. It uses the City of Chicago standard, so it's the Tritium Niagara platform. It's got to be a system that'll be be able to be interfaced with the citywide network. But there's multiple control contractors that can execute that, bid that.
Hey, hi, this is Tim with AIS. I just want to make it clear with this BAS question that within the city specs, there are a few vendors listed there, and we definitely need to be working with them because the system within this building needs to speak to the system in the greater Chicago system. So just be really clear that you follow not just the specs, but the vendors within those specs in particular. Just want to toss that out there. Thank you.
Hi, Tim. We'll make sure that the team looks through that with the architect.
Great, thank you.
We have another question. How do we quantify the amount of devices that are currently in the ceiling tiles that are being replaced? So, Jose, do you want to start with that one or direct it to one of the team members?
Lou or Richard.
The devices are mostly shown on the drawings. Are they not, Lou?
Well, I mean, the lights, the ceiling plans show the lights that are present there that would be taken down and put back up as needed.
We think we've got the lights. I think we've got the smokes. We've got the fire control devices, the sprinkler heads, excuse me.
Yeah.
I think we pretty much covered it. I'll double check it.
Yeah, I mean, the sprinkler heads are not, other than that one area, the fourth floor, where there's a fire protection drawing that calls to lower the heads, but otherwise the sprinkler heads are not changing. Just the tiles are notched around them now, and it would just go back in the same way.
Yeah. And I think we tried to show those so they know that guess what, you're going to be trimming some tile.
Right, yeah, and we'll review and confirm and formally respond through the RFIs.
Okay.
Someone stated that the current life safety system is being upgraded. Do we know who is handling this upgrade?
This is Tim with the city again with the AIS. We are handling the project where we're replacing the card readers, panic buttons, cameras. So let's see, well, there will be someone you can talk to as far as who the actual contractor will be. I'm not actually familiar with who the contractor will be. But through PBC, you will have a contact to find out who you'll be needing to work with if you need to.
Hey, this is Andre with Transwestern. So we're handling that project with AIS. We haven't selected a contractor yet, but when I heard fire life safety, I thought that they were referring to the fire panel and those types of connected devices. When someone noted fire life safety, that's what I thought of. So
yeah, we were told that the fire alarm system was being replaced also, but that's not part of this project. That's
the part I wasn't aware of. So I was trying to get clarity on that. Is that true? That's going to be included in one of these projects as well?
If we don't have the answer to that at the moment, I just want to reiterate, we're taking questions. We're going to provide answers here, but we're also going to log them in and address via addenda. So do we have a follow-up response for Andre on it before?
Yeah, I just remember one of the contractors asking a question, and then one of the responses was that the devices connected to the fire life safety system will be upgraded. I just wanted to make sure or clarify that, because as of today, I don't have any information on those devices being upgraded or the panel.
Okay, Kira, you were gonna say something?
Yeah, no, I was going to state that the fire alarm system is not a part of this project. That is something that was previously removed from the scope of work. And I know that AIS was going to take on some of the work, but I'm not sure, AIS, what I know that they're doing all the security stuff, but I'm not sure if the fire alarm system is part of their scope, but it's not going to be a part of this project that we're discussing.
Thanks, Kira.
Sure.
Thank you, Kira. Any additional questions? All right. Before we wrap up, I just have a few reminders. This is a non-mandatory pre-bid and non-mandatory tech review. Eligible bidders are our existing Class A and Class B contractors. The sign-in sheets will be posted on the current opportunities page, as well as, again, a reminder that everything else related to the procurement will be posted on that page. And please sign up for PBC alerts to get the most recent updates on this project. And lastly, all questions, regardless of who the presenter was today, should be directed to my attention at patricia.montenegro@cityofchicago.org. Okay. If no further questions, this concludes the pre-bid and tech review for the Central Hearing Facility Roof and MEE Upgrades Project. Thank you, everyone, for your attendance today.
Have a good day now.
Thank you,
Patty.
Thank you, Patricia.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was, let's see.